Well, good afternoon to you. I'm meteorologist Nicholas Herboso in the Fox 10 Gulfstream Center. We're talking weather because we have a few things going on. We have an active radar with a few thunderstorms out there right now. And of course, we're talking a little bit more into your forecast. We have a drier couple of days ahead on Tuesday and Wednesday, followed by possibly a wet end to the weekend. So a couple things that we're tracking there. I had the Facebook live stream pulled up. Please check in the comments, say hello, and we'll be able to kind of give our hellos and see what's going on here. Trying to want to be able to engage the comments a little bit more, so because this is, of course, a little bit more of a casual setup. So hopefully we get some more comments in here and I can keep going and referencing those. So first thing is first, we're going to start with the radar, which is active at this time. We do have showers and thunderstorms that are going on out there with a focus right now on Mobile, Baldwin County, and then Santa Rosa, Okaloosa County had the heaviest thunderstorms, one in Escambia County, Alabama as well. Zooming in with our high resolution radar here. If I put this in motion, you can kind of see that these storms are not moving very much at all. Some of them are producing lots and lots of lightning out there, but they're just kind of producing heavy downpours, and then some of them have been raining themselves out, actually. So we're going to take a little bit of a radar tour here and see what's going on. So current picture, let's go ahead and zoom in here. First storm is pretty much on all the rivers right now, the Delta, if you will. Places like, it's just south of Mount Vernon, so Chastang, Stockton, dealing with some of the rain now. There we go. Now my map is working. Stockton, Vaughn, this is along 59. This is North Baldwin County here, north of Interstate 65. Some heavy downpours going on there at this time. You can see just to the east of Citronelle a little bit. This is in northern Mobile County. If I zoom out a little bit to kind of get an idea where this is. So there's Stockton, and you have 65 that is there. So this one downpour, probably one of the heavier downpours that we have right now, is just to the north of 65 and just drifting. It looks like we have one other downpour that's kind of near the Baldwin Beach Express exit there on Interstate 10. Rosenton, Beach Express, a little bit of a downpour, very small downpour there. Let us know if you're getting any rain in the comments, because most people are not. Most people are dealing with the heat right now, but we do have just a few showers. Escambia County, Florida, a little bit of a small downpour, a little shower there near Muskogee and Cantonment. Pensacola is dry right now. The beaches are dry at this moment. I think they stay dry for actually most of the day today. The beaches will be staying dry. Should be looking nice down there. We just have to watch maybe later this evening for any storms. What about Santa Rosa and Okaloosa counties? Well, in Santa Rosa County, just north of Floridale, we have one thunderstorm, one little downpour that is producing some heavier rain, as you can see in the green. And then north of places like Butler in Okaloosa County, we have along Florida 189, one heavier downpour there. That is in Okaloosa County. Going up to Escambia and Covington counties, you have one shower that is along US 29. This is in far eastern Escambia County, Alabama. Rome, Alabama, dealing with some of that heavy rain. Also, that one is a bit of a more frequent lightning producer. So as always, we want to remind you that you can keep track of the conditions with the Fox 10 weather app. A really great tool to use here for tracking the storms. And a couple notes about when you pull in the Fox 10 weather app and when you look at it. And I'm actually going to pull it up on my phone here. So you get to the homepage of the Fox 10 weather app and you get to the radar section. When you get to the radar section, double check this bottom corner, and I'll point it out on the screen. Double check your bottom corner of the radar section and make sure it says past if you want the higher resolution radar data. So you tap on it, look in the corner here, and it says, ooh, my phone is dirty, and it says past. Make sure that you have that. That is give you the highest resolution data, and you can look in there. But it does have the past and future, and then the future radar. Future radar is essentially an extrapolation of the radar that is currently there with some model data input. So it's useful in some cases, but for the most part, you want the high resolution current radar, which shows stuff like this here. And I'll It should autofocus, so you can kind of see how that works. And I've actually got storm tracks put on there. So all of that, of course, on the Fox 10 weather app that you can use. So a couple things to keep track of. Sunny and Magnolia Springs from Joyce. Yes, I think it is looking pretty good there. In fact, I want to look at Baldwin County again. I'll go back on radar. So yeah, southern Baldwin County is completely dry right now. You get some false returns on radar. But yeah, it looks like the only downpour in Baldwin County is near the Beach Express exit once Beach Express touches I-10 there where the Buc-ee's is. So radar is going to be the story over the next few hours. We're going to keep tracking that on the Fox 10 Live at 3 p.m. I'm going to be on that, and we're going to be kind of tracking some of the storms that are there, of course. Once again, you can always track it on the Fox 10 weather app. There's also the Storm Tracks function. Those little 3 dots in the corner pulls up this bottom menu here. Oh, there it is. This bottom menu here, you can go to Overlays and actually get yourself the Storm Tracks, which is the one on the corner there. And you see where it says Storm Tracks. And that is how I've got this kind of cool information on the storms. It gives information. It says hailstorm. The radar can actually recognize like when a storm might produce hail, and it'll give you some movement information and whatnot all on the app there. So that's a cool kind of feature that you can use there. All right, live cameras. I'm going to take these full. I actually turned this live camera earlier to point to one of the storms, so I'll take it full for us here. And there it is. You can see some of those clouds off in the distance. 89 degrees, D'Iberville, Mississippi, feeling like 95 degrees. So a very steamy picture out there. Lenny's saying sunny, and Fairhope Allison saying Theodore. Theodore is dry at this very moment. We do have some thunderstorms, though, to the north in northern Baldwin County, or northern Baldwin County and northern Mobile County that we have been tracking. Right now, Theodore's staying dry, though, and Mobile downtown and kind of Mobile metro area staying dry at this very moment. We'll just be watching the clouds, of course. Here's our Daphne camera, 88 degrees, feeling like 96. It is extremely, extremely humid out there. It is feeling steamy for sure. Other cameras, Orange Beach, it's even steamy down at the beaches. Look at that heat index. That feels like temperature of 105 degrees down at the beaches. Now, this is actually an observation that is a little bit inland. So right on the beach, you're going to have a little bit more wind, even though this observation has 15-mile-per-hour wind. If you're right on the beach, you're feeling that wind directly, so it probably doesn't feel as terrible. Quick reminder that the surf is low, a low risk of rip currents. In fact, here I've got the forecast pulled up. Low risk of rip currents for today, and that will continue into tomorrow. So hot beach days, but decent beach days. Thursday, we do bump that rip current risk up, though, to medium. A couple inland showers there. And once we get to next weekend, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a higher rip current risk. So if you have beach plans next weekend, pay attention to the forecast because it does look like we will have a higher rip current risk. All right, wider shot of the radar right now, 94 degrees in Mobile. If you're planning on some travel and you go north, look at Birmingham, only 82 degrees. So they're in drier air right now, and I'll show you that on the water vapor imagery in a second. And we have a front that is draped across the area pretty much, and I'll show the front in a second, but it's like about right. Okay, that's the wrong way. The front is located like that and moving south. So what that means is we're actually going to get into that drier air a little bit later. And I'll show some forecast models on that in a second. You can kind of see it just barely, that darker gray that's moving into central Alabama. That's some of that drier air. That eventually gets to us. If you remember a couple mornings ago, it was Saturday morning, felt pretty nice. We're going to have that again kind of on Tuesday morning, but I think Wednesday morning is really the good time where we have that. All right, show some weather maps. This is a traditional weather map. I grabbed this from the Weather Prediction Center, but it shows that front pretty clearly where it is, and I'll point it out. That's where that front is right there. That is moving south. So everything north of that front is a little bit drier. Dew point is 68 in Birmingham versus a dew point of 75 in Mobile, and you can actually see those observations. That's the green number there on that chart. So, and I'll put that full for you so you can see. So look at Birmingham. You see that 76 over 68. So 76 degrees is the temperature when this was taken, and then 68 was the dew point. So Birmingham is a little bit drier compared to 80-something and then 75 in Mobile. And we showed you the observations in Mobile. We are steamy at this time. Going ahead in time, let's look at dew point, and I often reference dew point. I love referencing dew point because I think it's the best way to tell what moisture is like, what the moisture is like outside. Is it humid? Is it not? Numbers in the 60s and 70s, upper 60s and low 70s, that is humid. In the middle 70s and upper 70s, that is just ridiculous. That is some extremely, extremely wet air, and that's what makes it feel kind of awful outside. But watch what happens. As our cold front dips down here, these green numbers go away, and we get into the whites, and then eventually the browns, which is really good stuff. That means drier air is in place. So while our temperatures on Tuesday afternoon are going to be hot, it's not going to be as bad as it could be. If you remember on Saturday, that's what that was like. On Wednesday morning, dew points in the 50s, that would be just stellar kinds of weather for us. That's something that we really want to see. So hopefully we can make that happen and get a nice morning on Wednesday morning. That would be a nice morning to go on a run or something. That air will feel just a lot better. You won't be dealing with the stickiness that is out there typically in the morning. And then we will see the warm, moist air return, but slowly, but it will return. You can see 2 a.m. on Thursday, it's starting to kind of go away. You have that mass of green coming our way, and things will eventually change. So I often show the Muggy meter. This is the dew points over the next few days, and you can see how they start to steadily go up. Wednesday morning, I think, is our low point, and then we go up from there. Thursday it goes up, Friday goes up, Saturday it goes up. By Sunday, we're just going to be wet and actually dealing with likely some rain chances, and we're going to talk about that in a second. What does this do for our heat index values? Watch this. Tomorrow, no heat index. We're dealing with heat index today. We're around 100 for a heat index, but that will change. Tuesday, 91 for our heat index. That's pretty much what the air temperature is going to be. There's going to be no difference between that heat index and that air temperature. That's because it's dry outside. But as we factor in the humidity once again, Friday and Saturday also looking like days where we can have heat index values in the triple digits. And I know that is not fun if you have to be outside, so plan accordingly. What about our forecast highs? Those are staying pretty steady in the low 90s. Look at Saturday, 95 with that heat index in the triple digits. However, you see Sunday and Monday a little bit of a drop. That is a result of rain chances that are coming back into the forecast. So we have a rain chance today around 40%. We're tracking all those showers. That rain goes away for Tuesday and Wednesday and pretty much Thursday. Friday, Saturday, can't rely on an isolated shower, but Sunday and Monday, I've had to boost the rain chances quite a bit because forecast models are hinting at some moisture coming our way. That moisture will come from the Gulf of Mexico. So let's talk about that because I know it's kind of been a topic of conversation really over the last week. Right now we have the dry air in place. You can see those brown colors over us. This is Wednesday morning. Remember how I was talking about Wednesday morning is that drier morning? Well, there you go. There's that drier air, less available moisture in the atmosphere. Tropical moisture, though, is located over Florida, and that will eventually move our way. Watch how the GFS model takes this. It pushes the moisture, that deep blue that you see, over towards us, and it becomes a bit of a fire hose. So if this forecast model were to verify, then we would get quite a bit of moisture. Now, there's some talks of tropical mischief with this, but understand we are over a week out. We are looking next weekend and beyond. So we are kind of at this time frame where the forecast models are a little bit less accurate. It's giving us the indications of what might happen, but it's not giving us the exact details. So we have tropical moisture that comes in here late next weekend, giving us a higher rain chance, and that's pretty much the thing you need to remember. I'm going to play with the idea real quick of a tropical something. Let's just play with the idea and let's see what happens. Using the GFS forecast model, I'm running this all the way out to where the moisture becomes a little bit more available in the Gulf Coast. You see all this big streak of red. That is actually wind shear. So let's say that there's a low pressure system sitting in the Gulf of Mexico. All the moisture, all the clouds get blown up away from it. That's why there's going to be high rainfall totals in Florida, because all the moisture from the center of the kind of axis where all the moisture is trying to consolidate is getting blown away. So either way, with whatever is happening in the Gulf of Mexico, it's going to get blown around. And that is not good for tropical development in the traditional sense. You do not want a a tropical system, excuse me, does not want wind shear, and that is exactly what we have. And actually, remember I said fire hose earlier? It looks like moisture just gets blown up into our area all from this. So tropical development, not really expected out of this. The GFS really tries to do something, but the GFS always tries to do something, and you just have to kind of throw it away and get the indication of what it's meaning, which if we looked at the Europeans actually doing a better job with this, showing just the moisture coming up into our area. So once again, no issues with tropics right now, no tropical development expected over the next 7 days, just some moisture coming our way. That's the only thing you really need to take out of that. And of course, we'll watch it, as always, if there's anything going on, but that is a little bit of a ways out at this time. So no development expected over the next 7 days. That is good. Quick reminder, the tropical season, we are in it. Quick factoid, though, it has actually been, this has been the slowest start, and I want to say a decade? I'd have to check my numbers for sure. Yes, it has been a decade, 2014. This has been the slowest hurricane season start since 2014. We have not had any storms. In fact, in the Western Hemisphere, we have not had any named storms since the beginning of the year. So it has been an extremely quiet stretch here. Granted, it is only the 10th. We are only 10 days into the official hurricane season. But typically the Eastern Pacific would have already had something. No, nada, nothing. So it's kind of interesting to see that we're starting this quiet, even though a lot of those seasonal forecasts have been saying, oh, it's going to be an active season. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to be an active season later. And a quick note about those seasonal forecasts, Colorado State University, which releases their forecast, is actually releasing an update tomorrow. So if you're watching tomorrow, I'm going to be on Fox 10 midday, so I'll try to have those numbers for us so we can look at the new forecast that Dr. Philip Klotzbach and all those people at Colorado State, brilliant scientists, are working on, just so they can edit their numbers and see what they're thinking. I have an odd feeling, though, that the numbers are not going to change that much. So once again, calm and quiet in the tropics. All right, we are streaming on Facebook, on the Fox 10 Gulfstream, and on YouTube. So if you have any comments, I'd love to see them. Cheyenne checking in, Joyce, Lenice, and Allison all checking in there. If you have any more comments or questions, we're going to go for a little bit longer here. So just let me know, and I'll get those answered. We're going to go back over some of the information here. A quick note, this is a good reminder. If you have not, recommend that you follow the Storm Tracker team on social media. If I can get this to go full screen for you. We regularly post just information on social media, and we want you to kind of get that information. We post it because we want to kind of keep you informed. So follow your favorite meteorologist on Facebook, Twitter as well, or X. A lot of us are on Instagram and other platforms as well. All you have to do is search our names. So just search Nicholas Herboso, Matt Barentine, Jason Smith, Jennifer Lambers, or Michael White on Facebook. You'll be able to find us. And there you can follow us, see our latest posts. We do radar updates, we do tropical updates, all that stuff. All on social media. That's just another way you can kind of stay engaged and stay active in what's going on. I always like to plug that just because it's a kind of easier way for you to stay engaged, because a lot of times we're not always doing a live stream or doing stuff like this. All right, let's go back to the radar real quick and see what we have and what has changed in our time. So looks like we have a severe thunderstorm warning for the Wiregrass there, kind of near Dothan. And then we're still tracking some of our showers and thunderstorms. So I'll do a quick radar tour once again, and we'll take a look at what's going on. Mobile, right now you are dry. Baldwin County, most of Baldwin County is dry. A good chunk of Escambia County, Florida is dry, except for north of Interstate 10, places like Cantonment, Gonzales, all dealing with a little bit of rain, just a kind of a heavier downpour there. No issues with this at this time. Just a little bit of a downpour that's causing you to have to run your windshield wipers. Here's that downpour once again happening along Beach Express in Baldwin County. County Road 64 there. Rosenton, and that one's actually kind of on a weakening trend. A lot of these have been raining themselves out. Let's see what else we have here. Chemekla, a little bit of a shower, but that's an unpopulated area, it seems, or very little population there. And then on the border of Santa Rosa, Okaloosa County, a newer thunderstorm here. This one's, or at least a little stronger now. Campton along Florida 85, in between Florida 85 and 189, north of Auburn, one little downpour there. And then our Covington County storm producing a lot of lightning near Opp and Andalusia along Highway 84, and then in far eastern Escambia County, Alabama. Zooming out to the big view, we have one other storm that is here in northern Mobile County. Once again, Mobile, places like Mobile, Theodore, Irvington, all the way up to Chinchilla, Georgetown, Titronelle. You're dry right now. The only thunderstorm is near Mount Vernon, Chastang, along 43. And also in Stockton, 59. Rabun, kind of that area dealing with this thunderstorm right now. Just some light to moderate rain. But definitely that's all we're tracking there. And then some light showers near Vinegar Bend. So just a quick little radar check, just kind of see what's going on. I want to show you Futurecast real quick, just to see what's going on. And you can see Futurecast has been doing a really good job with this here, just with some scattered pop-up storms. These last, and this is interesting, all the way until the later evening hours. So 10:30, we still have showers going on. Remember, this is kind of triggered by a front of all things. So that is kind of keeping them alive a little longer than they would typically be alive if it were just daytime pop-up thunderstorms. 2:30 a.m., a couple bits of rain on the radar before they completely fade by 8 a.m. on Tuesday, and drier air starts to work on in here. Tuesday is a dry day with clouds clearing possibly later in the day, just some upper level clouds out there. So here's your 7-day outlook, and as you can see, Sunday into Monday, those rain chances do go up, but that's at the end of the outlook. Our main focus in the next couple of days will be the drier air for Tuesday and Wednesday. Wednesday morning, we'll be feeling quite nice. That'll be a nice change of pace. In the 10-day outlook, we can see that we have rain chances going long range, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, a little bit more elevated. So with that, make sure you're planning accordingly, especially if you have plans next Sunday. Pay attention to that. So that's what we're tracking there. Checking in on Facebook. Shelly, thank you for checking in. Allison, of course. Latoria, pleasant, hot day. A lot of people like the heat sometimes. 94 degrees with some humidity. Yeah, that's hot for sure. And we're, of course, dealing with the scattered showers. Hopefully some showers will cool us down. That'll be kind of thing we want to see. Quick check-in on the forecast lows for tonight, right around 70 degrees. Drier air will be moving in. Tomorrow, a hot day, but lower humidity in place. So 92 in Mobile, 91 Gulf Shores, 92 in Pensacola there. Not as bad. Quick check of Futurecast. Once again, we deal with these showers and thunderstorms pretty much through the afternoon and evening before these wrap up. And then Tuesday we start dry. Tuesday will be a mainly dry day with mostly sunny skies later in the day, temperatures in the 90s with that lower humidity in place. Quick note, I got to remember this. If you get any good weather photos, please send them in to us. You can submit them on the Fox 10 weather app, a great way to do it. And that's easy for us to get those photos on air. So please do submit your photos. If you get any storm photos, I know there's some cool clouds that are often out there, so that's always cool to check out, and hopefully we can get some of those on air. So I'll leave you with a 7-day forecast. If we have no more questions, we thank you for tuning in on our 2 o'clock live. We typically try to do these every single weekday at 2 p.m. Sometimes you see them on a weekend. Last weekend, or not last weekend, I think it was a couple of weekends ago, we did one at 7 o'clock and we focused on some tropics there. So we try to focus on these things every once in a while, just giving you a little update in what's going on. Sis saying raining in Opp, Alabama. Yes, it is. We were tracking that a second ago. Some heavier rain there. So some places are getting heavier rain, some places are dry, just kind of depends on where you are. Remember that you can check up on all of it with the Fox 10 weather app, track the radar and much more. But for now, I'll leave you with this 7-day forecast. And of course, we thank you so much for joining us here on our 2 o'clock live.